There's no such thing as a benevolent dictator.
And I, Rosette, am your commentator. It's time for the next round in the P1 Grand Prix. Are you ready to fight?
P1 Grand Prix? Fight?
Suddenly on the one in the ridiculous costume queue, smoke pours around us. A spotlight shines from somewhere directly upon me.
Ugh.
I instinctively raise my arm to shield my eyes from the harsh light. It feels like I'm being displayed for an audience.
And who do we have for Yuki-chan's opponent this time? Ooh, it's a mysterious, beautiful lady. How unexpected!
Unexpected.
Teddy, what's wrong?
Do you know that bear?
So I guess obviously they jumped in after the Grand Prix officially started. So, interesting. The monitor showing the one in costume calling himself General Teddy suddenly fuzzes over with static. The static gets worse and worse, until an eerily expressionless bear costume that looks like as though it forgot how to make facial expression appears on screen. The voice is the same as before, but his tone is harsh and mechanical now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
What is that supposed to mean? Ugh. What's going on?
As soon as the abnormality registers, I feel a bizarre noise that, like something scratching against my whole body. Was that some kind of an attack? It didn't seem to have any effect on me, but the girl standing beside me underwent quite a change.
You. Who do you think you are, showing up alone like this?
What?
It's no use trying to talk your way out of it. There's nothing to discuss. You don't even try to understand anyone anyway. If you want to wall yourself off from everyone, I'll be happy to end your lonely life here.
The girl's face distorts with hatred as she spits her words at me. It's a far cry from her earlier demeanor. It's as if she's a completely different person. And that's not all. Understandably, she seemed not to know me before, but now she speaks as if she does. What is this? Could it be the effect of the noise I sensed?
You won't be so smug for long. Come, Konohana Sakuya.
A persona?
The girl spreads the fan in her hand, and with a flash of light, a persona manifests. How careless of me. I should have accounted for this possibility as soon as I saw her here in this world.
We won't be settling this peacefully, I see. In which case...
I ready my evoker and concentrate.
To me, Artemisia.
Power rises from within me, and the sensation in my limbs tells me that my persona has emerged. But my hand holding the evoker is still at my side. My persona, did it just appear without the use of my evoker to trigger it? Did I summon it only by thinking? Theoretically, one doesn't need an evoker to summon one's persona. I didn't have one the day my persona first manifested, and I've done without one several times as well. But never before have I summoned it so easily without any special concentration. It's as if my consciousness is reaching far beyond the boundaries of my body. By the way of analogy, it feels like being able to control the wind with my fingertips. Could it be because this world is special? The girl's voice brings me back to the situation at hand. Which reminds me, the girl doesn't seem to use any special implements to summon either.
A persona user. Fine. I still won't lose.
Sorry, but I won't be defeated either.
Cat fight! Okay.
Final.
Round one. Okay. Holy hell. Oh my god! I am a beast! Oh god! Hut, 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 hut. Oh my god! Hey, no! Oh my god! Oh my god! That was insane!
What a disappointment!
That was... Oh my god. That was very interesting. Game over.
Welcome to the...
Very well.
Very well.
Final.
Hut, 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 hut. Hut, 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 hut. Just not even give her a chance. Oh god. Oh. Okay.
Oh my! They lost!
Yes, they did. Okay. Mitsuru is very scary. I will admit. Like, she was scary before. Now she's even worse. Once the battle ends, the monitor nearby switches on.
An irregularity has occurred. Multiple intruders detected. Emergency. Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
He obviously refers to myself and the others. Does he mean that he's going to adjust his tactics for dealing with us to our various strengths? The way he said that seems like a bad omen.
Valid targets.
I understand that we're considered to be intruders, but what did he mean by that? It seems we're part of the tournament now, but what was the enemy's original plan? The monitor screen fuzzes again. Once more, it shows the costumed person as he originally appeared.
Geez, you need to let me know if you want to get in on the fun. But this is a unique situation, and you're one hot mama, so I'll make an exception. Just keep putting on a good show in your next bout, too.
Who are you? Why don't you take off that strange costume and show your face?
Hey now, I don't think a lady walking around in a cat suit like yours can talk to me about my bear suit. Enough with the questions. Move on.
Again? Yet another person hung up on my outfit? Ugh, it's unlike me to let the enemy's words get under my skin. The monitor switches off with those cheeky words.
Is that costume thing the one who stole Labras? If so, then what's the purpose of this bizarre tournament? Fine. I'll get a read on your location.
I quickly linked my communicator and persona. Some personas are more suited to operational support than direct combat. In my case, though, the power is secondary. We normally have a persona user who specializes in that role, but with some specialized equipment, I can get by. I focus my consciousness and send it drifting through the surrounding area. The enemy must think he's keeping an eye on us, but he'll learn soon enough that he's not the only one with a bird's eye view of the situation. But before the layout of this place becomes clear, an unexpected change occurs around me. Whoa! The moment I use my power, noise runs through the students that had been spectating. In an instant, they turn into something like silhouettes that barely have human shape. It seems their true colors have been exposed. Are they not human?
What? Were they shadows? If they were, I don't sense any hostility from them. Were they just set dressing that thing in the costume prepared?
Apparently, this disturbance isn't so serious that the large crowd that cheering implied was made up entirely of people who entered the TV. Which leaves it a mystery, but it may be best to consider it a blessing.
In any case, it appears that apart from this girl here, none of those students were real.
The girl who had collapsed on the floor is coming around. I realize my persona and rush over to help her. I release my persona. I wasn't fighting to my fullest. What? Bullshit! So she shouldn't be suffering from any real wounds. There are many mysteries surrounding this girl. She seems to be more than just an associate of the one in the bear costume. The moment the girl sees me, she jumps back like a startled animal. Her speech is flustered and her face is bright, blushing red. There are tears in her eyes.
How come you knew about that?
About what?
That was private. I never even told anyone at the inn about that. I can't believe someone I've never even met before knew.
The girl covers her reddened face in shame. I try and think back to what I said to her. Did I point out anything that would cause such a reaction? One detail jumps out at me. When the girl's manners of speech shifted before a battle, it wasn't just her personality that abruptly changed. Though we had just met, she talked as if she knew more than she should about my past.
That reminds me. That noise I sensed earlier is gone.
Yet the girl before me now no longer bears any of the senseless animosity from before.
It seems to have been some kind of interference from the enemy. Come to think of it, that bear was egging us on. The interference must have been to ensure two total strangers would fight. General Teddy, was it? He looked comical enough, but he certainly put an elaborate scheme in motion.
No! How could Teddy...
She seems to finally calm down and continues muttering with a perplexed expression.
You know the one in costume, I take it?
Oh, I know him very well. He's usually not like this at all.
I take the girl's hand again and help her to her feet.
I'm Mitsuru Kirijo. I've come here in search of a unique object. Why don't we start over? If you don't mind, I'd like to hear a little about yourself.
Yes. Oh, my name's Yukiko Amagi. I'm sorry for losing my composure just now.
So, Amagi, why did you come to this world?
Where to start? So many strange things happened over the last year.
At first glance, she looks like an ordinary student. So why is she here inside the TV? Amagi briefly summarized her recent past to me in an even tone voice. According to her, this world was prominent in a serial murder case last year. She and her friends awakened to their personas while investigating the case and eventually solved it. At the case's conclusion, this world formed by people's thoughts returned to its original state. None of this contradicts what I learned from Detective Kurosara.
A realm inside a TV, formed by people's thoughts. It sounds absurd, but that would explain the incongruity I sensed when I used my persona.
We thought the case had been solved, but lately there's been another strange program on the air. My friends and I couldn't ignore that, so we came back here.
Your friends? Are there others here besides yourself?
Yes, I was with 3 other people, but we got separated when we entered. The one in costume and the girl who called herself Rosette are friends of ours too. But they're acting so strangely.
So this is not the way they generally behave, then?
I could tell from Amagi's reactions that normally she trusts those two implicitly. Considering what the enemy did to her earlier, could they be under its control as well? Either way, it sheds no light on the theft of Labrys. How are they related? Or is this incident only a coincidence?
There's one more thing I'm curious about. Have you ever heard the name Labrys?
Labrys? No, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. What is it?
It's the thing I'm searching for. What makes it problematic is that I know nothing of its appearance. Honestly, I'm not sure it has anything to do with this disturbance. Though I can't write it off completely as irrelevant.
Though it appears that there is no connection, whoever went so far as to hijack a plane to steal Labrys brought her all the way here. No matter how I look at it, that means something.
Anyway, thank you for your cooperation. I understand the situation better now. We should stay together going forward.
Whoa, think again, ladies!
General Teddy suddenly appears on the screen to interrupt our conversation.
Only the winner of each bout can go on. That's rule number 1 in the Grand Prix.
How exactly can that rule be enforced? Oh, you'll see, Mitsuru, you'll see. As if to answer my unspoken question, Amagi makes an odd gesture.
Huh? There's nothing here, but I can feel something. A wall, maybe? Wait, but Mitsuru-san could...
Amagi looks at me expectantly. I take a tentative step and walk through the place where she claims there is a wall.
Like I said, you're stuck there until the tournament's over. Only winners get to go. Come on, miss. You won. So it's time to barrel forward to the next stage.
I must leave the girl alone in this strange world then? Though I'm uneasy about doing so. Amagi seems to read my thoughts and smiles.
Thank you, but I'll be all right. I fought shadows for an entire year too. I can protect myself.
I see. In that case, I'll press on and do my best to rescue your friends.
If you see them, please tell them I'm all right and they shouldn't worry about me. You be careful too, Mitsuru-san.
So Amagi smiles resolutely. She's a very strong girl.
All right, I'll pass that along.
I nod, acknowledging her wishes, and turn my back to walk away.
Not only do they tamper with our minds, they prevent us from leaving until the tournament is settled. It may not necessarily ruin friendships, but there's no way forward than to fight one another. What a loathsome trick. It seems the mastermind is intent on us fighting each other.
I grit my teeth in anger. Amagi's clear eyes remain in my heart. This operation is no longer just to retrieve Labrys. I make a silent vow as I go. Everyone who has been dragged into this must be rescued.
Another dead end.
As I step into the school, I realize that these invisible walls are everywhere, blocking off routes that seem open to the naked eye. Why is the thief who stole Labrys gathering Persona users in this world? Not having a clear idea of their motivations is aggravating my anxiety. I guess Nakahiko may have been dragged into this Grand Prix as well. If so, we need to compare notes. What? It's a cat. Okay, if all goes well, we may figure out the location of the mastermind behind this that I failed to grasp earlier. After quickly confirming that there are no shadows nearby, I link my communicator with my persona. I focus my consciousness and send it drifting throughout the surrounding area.
Hurts. So lonely.
Aww.
What was that?
The presence is faint, and I can't tell where it is yet. I can definitely hear a voice. It seems I could sense it because of my secondary support capabilities, but when I focus harder, it doesn't seem that they're trying to communicate with me. It's more like the words and the intense emotions behind them are seeping out of the room itself, perhaps even from all around me. Eventually, the voice becomes clearer.
I'm scared. I'm alone. It hurts. Why? Why won't anyone listen?
I don't recognize the voice. Perhaps one of Amagi's friends.
I didn't ask to be born a machine. How come no one understands? What's the difference between normal people's hearts and mine?
A machine?
Oop. Sorry about that. I stand up and try calling to her.
Labris, are you nearby? Answer me.
But there is no answer. It seems that it's not because the voice's owner is nearby that I can hear her. It is subtly different from hearing voices with one's own ears. It's true. I focus my senses once again, but I still can't tell exactly where it's coming from. Not yet. Not yet having a thorough command of the layout here makes it harder to pinpoint. Eventually the voice fades, only silence remains.
Going by what she said, that had to have been Labris. Sounds as if her heart has developed further than we thought.
Even Aegis, the latest model, required a lot of time and experience to develop the heart she has. So then why does Labris, who's been sealed from her development up till now, have such an advanced heart?
I didn't ask to be born a machine. It pains me to hear that.
The anti-shadow suppression weapons. Both Aegis and Labris were created as insurance for dangerous shadow experimentations, in case the subject should go berserk. The only thing that can stand up against a shadow is a persona, and being able to control one is an absolute necessity when dealing with shadows. Thus, they were given hearts in order to be able to induce their abilities to use personas. But a weapon that has a heart contradicts itself. It was natural for Aegis to face that contradiction, and it caused her serious anguish in the past.
We can't allow victims like her to be tormented by sins of the past, whether they're human or not.
Newly resolved, I press on. I continued through the school, still unable to contact Aegis or Akihiko. The invisible walls seemed to be leading me towards a gym. Compared to the one back at Gekkoukan High, this one is rather modest, but the chairs stacked to unusual heights, and the monitors everywhere gave me an eerie air. The monitor is switching on again. But this time, it's not showing General Teddy. How strange. This appears to be a commercial for a fighting event.
What in the...
A succession of young men and women are introduced as participants. One of them I recognize as Amagi.
They're wearing the same uniforms as Amagi. I assume these are the friends she spoke of.
All of them are introduced with horrible... what? What? Okay. But the Amagi I met in person was completely different, was completely different, sophisticated girl. I suppose the enemy made up all the taglines. Just as Amagi's introduction ends, the video suddenly turns off, and General Teddy's face appears on the screen.
I had to completely rejigger the bracket to accommodate 3 new contestants. Sheesh.
3 new contestants. Myself, Akihiko, and Aegis?
On the other paw, I That tournament's more exciting with more people in it. But getting back on track, allow me to introduce your next opponent.
When I enter, someone who had already been there turns around. His face. It was on the video a moment ago.
Huh? There's people besides us here?
You're...
Holy crap, she's smoking hot. And she's wearing doesn't hurt either.
You were in that video just now. What was it they called you? Captain Ressentiment?
How come you remember that stupid title and not my real name? Figures I need a knockout like this. She already knows about that. God, I wish I was dead.
Apparently the whatever, from the video hit a sore point with the people featured. The nickname left more of an impression than his real name, so it just slipped out. At that moment, General Teddy appears again on one of the larger monitors inside the gym.
How do you like your opponent?
Why are you making us fight? What benefit do you derive from this nonsense?
So many questions. I just want you all to suffer. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that fun?
That's what this is about? No. If Labris is involved, there's more to it, isn't there?
Enough jibber-jabber. Hurry and start the fight. Look at your opponent. He's ready, see?
The general's smirk strikes me as incongruous. It's the same as the time with Amagi. As I glared at the monitor, thinking that more interference is at work here, I hear unexpectedly bitter words.
Yeah, Teddy's right. I mean, you're the one who barged in here. Man, who'd come to such a dangerous place without hesitating? You really are an ice queen. I bet you don't have many friends, huh?
It's happening again. The moment the noise kicks in, not only does my opponent's personality change, they begin speaking of things they shouldn't know about. It's exactly like what happened with Amagi.
You talk as if you know me.
Stop acting so calm and changing the subject. You seem like you don't know much about this world, so how do you plan to get out? Don't tell me you rushed in here with no escape plan. Oh man, seriously? You're nuts. People like you who obsess over responsibility and put all the burden on yourselves, you annoy the hell out of me.
It doesn't matter how others perceive me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Isn't that because you don't trust anyone?
We clearly can't have a normal conversation with the enemy's interference. But even knowing that, I catch myself trying to argue the point. The heavy responsibility I suffer is mine alone. If I share it with someone, that means that suffering will also be shared. That is why I try to be self-sufficient. The more I care about someone, the less I'm willing to rely on them. But isn't that no better than not believing in them? I've been caught in that trap before. Maybe I still haven't truly escaped it. But how could he guess my private distress? One that I've barely confided to others before.
I was supposedly an unexpected intruder. What's going on?
What are you mumbling about? Well, let me ease your mind. I'll end everything for you. Let's do this, Jiraiya!
Go, Yosuke-senpai! Beat up that shady lady! Let the fight begin!
I can see there'll be no talking sense with him like this. There's nothing for it, then. Artemisia!
Oh! Sweet! So now we get to fight Yosuke-san!